In today's session, we're going to set up the Meta Business Suite. We're going to set up and link all of your pages, your Instagram, your Facebook, your ad account, so that you're ready to go. If you go to the website, so business.facebook.com/inquiry, and this is what you will see. It will show to log into your Facebook page, your Instagram, or to create a new account. If you don't have a Facebook or Instagram page already, you will set it up through here by going create new account. If you do, just simply log in with your Facebook or Instagram, whichever you find easier to log in through. I won't go through and do that because I'm actually already logged in. So I'll click back here. Okay, so this is what it will look like when you log in to your Meta Business Suite. I'm actually just going to show you here. This is the structure of the way that it works with the setup of your Meta Business Suite. I like to just detail this here just to explain, because a lot of people get confused with what is what. So you've just set up your Meta Business Suite, which is linked to your Facebook page, which is linked to your personal profile. You've then got your Instagram page. We're going to go through the process of linking everything together and also setting up your ads manager. And I will touch a little bit on pixels and also billing and payments as well. Okay, so let's jump back in here. So the first thing to do in your Meta Business Suite, this is where you will see your Facebook page, your Instagram page. If they're not linked already, we will do that so that they are actually linked. Down the side here, you can get to your ads manager through this section, but it's better to actually go in through the settings. So I'll walk you through how to do that. You can also see your inbox as well, which is really handy when you're running ads, and also just for general comments as well. Really handy just to jump in here and keep track of this. So you can see your messenger messages, Instagram, if you've got your WhatsApp integrated. Also when you're running ads too, you sometimes might get comments on your ads. So it's really important to actually answer those. They will appear here as well. You can also do posting and everything from here too. So if you want to post content under the content section here, you can jump in and do your posting of your content here as well. So this is just showing my page. First thing I want you to do is go to the settings. What we want to do is get all of your Facebook, Instagram ad account. We want to get them set up and linked so that they are actually all attached to your Meta Business. This means that you can actually be doing ads and cross-posting and everything is linked under the one umbrella. So, all right, so I've just gone under the pages section. Your account will probably not have information here. So it will probably just be all plain. So you actually need to add in your Facebook page. So your Facebook page is attached to you as a person, as your personal profile. So you click up the top here and click on add. If you don't have a Facebook page already for your business, you can click create a new Facebook page. You can request shared access, which is more for like agencies like what I do, or add an existing Facebook page. So if you've already got a Facebook page for your business, you know, ABC, lawn care, whatever the business is, you click on here. And so you can pop in either the Facebook URL or the name. I'm not going to go through this whole process because I've already got things linked up, but I'm just going to do an example. So you can do this. You can just pop in the URL, or you can actually just type in the name. Sometimes it doesn't pick up the name when you type it in. So URL is best so that it's definitely 100% right and correct. You just click on that. It's already in my portfolio, so it's not going to let me do this. But normally what you would do is just click on it, click next, and then it's brought into your page as an asset. The next stage is to go down to your Instagram and make sure that that is integrated. I've already got my page integrated here, which you can see. If you didn't have anything in here, you would simply just click add and go through a similar process to what you did with the Facebook page. And yeah, I've already got one in here, so it's not going to let me do this, but you would go through the process of logging in and then clicking through the steps. Then we're going to get your ad account set up, link all of the relevant people that you need in your organisation into your ad account, and set up your billing. So you're ready to go with launching your ads. Before you run ads, you actually need to have what's called an ad account. If you have boosted a post before, it automatically adds an ad account for you that you'll just need to go in and just double check and just make sure it's set up correctly with all the full information. If you haven't run any ads before, you do need to do this step, otherwise you won't be able to run any ads. So I've got, you can see some ad accounts set up here. I've got a demo ad account. I'm going to click on here. So if you've already got an existing ad account, you can transfer that across. You simply do that by just clicking through. If you've boosted posts before, you'll be able to find your ad account. To create a new one, you just need to type in the details here. I'll go through some of the steps, but it will cut out because I've already got a number of ad accounts. So you would do your business name. Really important to do the correct time zone and the correct currency as well, because you want to make sure that it's charging you in the correct currency. It automatically defaults to American dollar, so you want to change it to wherever you are, ideally Australian dollar if that's where you are. It will be for your business. Another business or client is for agencies, more like what I do. And then you can see this ad account has been set up underneath the business portfolio. I'm not going to click through the next step because that will actually add another ad account. Once you've done that, we go up to people. So now we're telling the system who can actually access the business manager, all of the assets, and who can actually make changes, do ads. So we need to invite people. This includes inviting yourself as well. So say if you've got one person in the business, or you've got you've got an admin person, you've got anyone else that's going to be running ads for your business, you need to invite them. You just pop in the email address of the person. I'm just going to do myself as an example here. Okay, so we'll click next. So you can select here what sort of access you want to give the person. If you're going to be running your own ads and looking after everything to do with your business, I suggest doing manage. You do want to limit the number of people that do manage your business assets. So generally this would just be like business owners, business managers, those sort of things. Otherwise you can do partial access. And then it's a matter of selecting what you want the person to have access to. So you need to give, in order to run ads, you need to give them access to the Facebook page, the ad account, the Instagram and the pixel, but we'll set that up a little bit later. Here you can see we've got the Facebook page, so I'm going to click on this, click here, go all the way down to the bottom and say everything. So this is all the different things that you can give access to. We say next. Okay, we go to the other account, we tick that and go down to full control. Catalogs, don't worry about at this stage. Pixels, we'll come back to that later as well. And we go Instagram and tick that and go full control. You can have a read through this and see if there's only certain things that you want to give access to, but I generally just do full control because then you don't have to sort of go back and forth and adjust people's access. Then you go next and that will send an invitation to that person. They log in with their Facebook details and then they have access to all of this as well. Okay, so that's everything that we need to do at this point to get everything set up. If it didn't prompt you to get this information, you can go through and jump back into the business information because you do want to have that set up. So there's just basic information here. You click on edit up the top and then you can link the Facebook page as well. You can see that's selected here. Got all the business information. You don't need to verify. There's only certain businesses that need to verify here, so you don't need to do that. Everything else is really just sort of the basics of what you need in order to run ads. The next step is launching your ads, the fun stuff, getting your objective set, organising all of your creatives and copy, making sure that everything is set up and correct and ready to go and optimised. Okay, all right, so we're going to go back into the settings and click into Ads Manager. Okay, so this is our Ads Manager, and Ads Manager is where you run all of your campaigns from. You'll be spending most of your time in here. And just to sort of tell you the difference between Ads Manager and when you are boosting a post, because I'm sure some of you would have boosted posts before. So boosting a post really just gives you limited functionality. You don't get access to everything that is in Ads Manager as far as location, targeting. So it's quite different. It's always best to run all of your advertising on Meta. So for Facebook and Instagram, always through the Ads Manager. You can also access like an app version as well, which is handy, like just to have a look at things on the go, but it doesn't have all the information that the desktop version does. So I would suggest, doing this when you're in front of a computer is the best way to run things. Okay, it does prompt you to actually put in your payment method when you set up a new account. I've got my Bloom demo account, which is an ad account just for these purposes. So when you jump in, the first thing that you want to do is put your payment method in. So you just add your payment method in here, click on here. This is why it's important to put in your currency. You want to make sure that you've got the correct currency here, because if it's not, then it will charge you in the other currency, and then there'll be international additional amounts, like in international transaction fees, those sort of things. So you click next, then you just put all of your card details in here. You also put in your tax information too, so your ABN, tax information, and click yes. So that's all set up. It's good to also have a backup payment method too, because you don't want it that you're running ads for whatever reason, it gets declined or cancels, and then your ads go back to the start. So that's the worst thing to happen. So if you think that there's going to be maybe an issue with a payment or something like that, and I'd even flag it with your bank too, just that there is going to be amounts from Meta, just so that your ad account doesn't stop for whatever reason once you've already started your ads. Okay, cool. So Ads Manager, I'm just going to run through some of the basics. So we've gone through the billing. At this point with running basic ads, you don't need to sort of get bogged down with too much of the detail in here, because there's a lot of stuff in here that is a little bit more advanced. When you first start running ads, the most important thing is just to get in, get it set up, start running an ad so that you can actually get some stats and start learning from your campaigns. So I'm going to click into here. So campaigns is where you are going to be running all of your ads from. I don't have any ads sitting in this account because it's just my demo account, doesn't have any of my clients' ads in here. But I just want to explain the way that the structure of the ads work, because some people get a bit confused when they come in and they see there's different screens. So there is the campaign, ad sets, and ads. So the campaign is a high level, and then the ad set sits underneath that, and then under that the individual ads. So a campaign might be, say, a spring promotion as an example. You might have another campaign which is a winter promotion, so they're different campaigns. You might be running multiple campaigns at the one time, different offers. So that's what campaigns are called. Underneath that, you have the ad sets, which we'll go into a little bit more detail, and then the ads underneath. I'm going to have a separate video which talks about offers. So for the purpose of doing this ad, we're just going to run with that you already know what offer you are going to present to the market. I'm going to do a separate video, which I'll link in this, to actually walk you through how to get and craft your offer for success with your campaigns. Let's go create. Let's start. So the campaign objective, a lot of people get this wrong, and getting this wrong can stuff up your whole campaign. For the purpose of what we're doing, it's generating leads. So I'll just walk you through what each of these are briefly, and then we're going to launch into doing some lead gen campaigns. So awareness is more like branding. You want your ad to go out. You want people to have a look. Awareness is generally for like a bigger brand. So say like Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola, they would be doing awareness campaigns as well as a variety of different other campaigns. So as a beginner, you don't really need to be running these sort of campaigns. You want to focus on getting leads. A traffic campaign is getting link clicks, sending people to a website, landing pages, getting volume of traffic. So engagement is also trying to get likes, comments, engagement on your page or sending people to your page. This is not something that you really need to focus on. App promotions, unless you've got an app, you don't need to be doing an app promotion. Sales and leads are the two different types of campaign objectives, and it's really important to know what your objective is. So before you start running ads, what are you trying to get from these ads? In most cases, for the type of businesses that I'm dealing with and the type of business that I'm sure you are, like a trades business, you want to be getting leads. So this is good for website, like directing people to your website, maybe to book a quote, instant forms, which is capturing their information, sending people to your Messenger or your Instagram to start conversations with them. Then there is sales, which is about getting conversions. I don't tend to use this one as much just because I find for trades businesses, a lead campaign is the best way to get leads. Obviously, it's quite obvious, but some people do get a bit confused at this point because they think, I want traffic. So I do see a lot of people doing traffic campaigns without realising. So leads is the way to go. We'll click on that to click forward. Now, this will come up as a suggestion for you. Choose your campaign setup. So as a beginner, I see most people just jump in here because Meta these days, it will prompt you to do within their best practices and their guidelines and try and make it easy for you. It is a bit easier these days, I have to say, to set up campaigns. Things change over time and setting up campaigns is a little bit easier than it has been in the past. You can click tailored lead campaigns, which will automatically do some of the preset settings. But I always like to do manual lead campaigns because you can actually select more. You've got more options to customize. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, you can click on tailored lead campaigns, but I always do, manual. Okay, so this is what I was saying about the structure of the ads. So you can see here, this folder is the campaign. The 4 squares is the ad set, and then we've got the ads underneath. So the ad set information, I'll click on this. Actually, I'll go through all of them individually just to give you like a little bit of a summary as far as what each one is. So the campaign, you work out what your promotion or offer is going to be. Then underneath that, you do the ad set, and the ad set level is more around what the budget is, where you're going to be targeting, so the location or the type of people, and then the actual ad is the creatives. And this is where you can actually have multiple. So you can have multiple ad sets and you can have multiple creatives underneath that ad set. Okay, let's go back up to the top and go to the lead campaign. It's up to you how you want to name this, but I generally do something so that you can just easily see what it is. So as an example, we'll do $1,000 off deck spring 2025 as an example. Okay, the campaign details, it automatically defaults to auction and leads. You can edit this. So the other option is reservation. I don't suggest that you do this because the difference, auction is bidding for viewers. Reservation is more a set price, but it's a little bit limited. So I would always go with auction, and especially as a beginner, just go with auction because it's the easiest way to set things up. Campaign leads. So this is where we had selected the campaign objective. Now with the budget, so you can set it up a few different ways. I always go with the campaign budget. So campaign budget means that it is going to spend the budget for any ads and ad sets that are underneath that campaign, and you can do a budget amount. So there's a couple of different options with the budget. There is daily budget and lifetime budget. With lifetime budget, and lifetime budget, you might have seen this more where you say boost a post, for 7 days or 5 days, and you do a set amount with that. That is what a lifetime budget is. So you say, for this period of time, I want to spend this amount in total. Generally, that's not the best way to go. The best way to go is to actually have like an ongoing campaign, which is a daily amount set. And people often ask, how much should I do on a daily basis? It all depends on your goals and your lead volume. So say if you're a smaller business and maybe you're not needing a high volume of leads, you maybe might do, say, $20 to $30, and also depends on your industry too. If you're needing tons of leads, you might start off at say 50 a day, go up to 100 a day, find the campaigns that are working, and then adjust it, to a couple of $100 a day, depending on the number of leads that you need. What I would say is don't start at like $5 a day, because you'll be disappointed. It will take so long to actually get the data to work out if the campaigns are working and be showing it to enough people. It just takes so long. So as a minimum, I generally say 20, but for most campaigns, I start them off at 30 a day. Sometimes clients are like, I really want results. I need to get this, I need to get people in ASAP, do like $100 a day. So for this campaign, we'll do 50 as a start. Okay, so you can do with the bid strategy, leave that as the highest volume, because it gets the most value out of your budget. Don't worry about these other options. Just go with the standard setting. You can do budget scheduling, so to work out specific times. I don't tend to do this, and especially not at the start. Don't even worry about that. A/B testing. We're going to be testing the ad creatives underneath the ads. So you don't need to do that one. You can if you want to. I don't use that function because I tend to test in the ad set, like in the ad set and the ads level. So now, special ad category. You are probably not, if you're a trades business, you are not going to need to tick this. If you're in other industries like real estate or financial, you need to actually say what your service is that you're putting forward, and actually click that special ad category. Okay, so that's everything that we need to do in this section. We click next. Everything auto saves for your campaigns, so you don't need to worry about losing information. You can literally just exit out and come back to it later. Okay, I'm gonna come back to the ad set name, because I'm just going to click down here and just work out. You will already know what you're going to be targeting, but I'm just going to sort of do it on the fly at the moment for this example. Okay, so conversions you can do. There's a couple of different options. I would say unless you've got a really solid website that is set up with, like you click on the main page and people can see how to organise a quote, or you've got a chatbot, or, it's a really solid system, I would say always go with a lead form, just because that is the best way that clients aren't going to get lost when they actually go to your website. If it's not because we sort of do funnels as well, but if it's not really obvious to them how they can actually, like with call to actions, you can actually lose people from them clicking on the ad and then actually clicking on the link and going to your website. So I always say to go with instant forms. So you've got to accept the terms, which I've already done. If you haven't done this before, yep, you just click on view terms. Okay, performance goals, maximize number of leads. That is what we want to do. Because we're doing a campaign budget, this will be blurred out. Dynamic creative, we'll leave this for the moment and come back to this. Catalog, we don't need to do a catalog. This is more relating to when you're selling a product. The start date automatically defaults to the date and time that you are doing the ad. Okay, now let's go down to here. So previously with Meta, it was set up a little bit differently as far as their targeting. Now it's been divided into two different sections. So we've got the audience controls, which is more around the location and the type of person that we want to attract, like the age. Then we've got what's called Advantage Plus Audience. This is more like suggestions. So Meta is pretty intuitive as far as finding the right type of person to show the ad to. So if you think of it like the audience controls is more set, like this is the type of person, so the location, it's going to be showing your ad to people in the location that you want. But the Advantage Plus Audience is also going to take into account some additional things but it's more suggestions as far as who it's going to show them to. So let's jump in here and go into, let's say as an example, so I'm doing, a deck example. So say you are a carpenter based in Perth. So we'll jump in here and we'll go Perth. So we obviously want to target people in Perth. Click on this. It automatically defaults to 25 miles, which is, I'm going to click in here. So say that you don't service, Bullsbrook as an example. You can actually click on here and maybe you want to make it 20 because that falls more within what you're looking after. Or maybe you want to actually be like really more specific. Maybe you only look after particular suburbs. You can do this current city only. So you might want to actually be really particular about the suburbs. So say you do Perth, you do Fremantle, and then you can just list all of the suburbs individually that you would like to target. Or you can use the city with the radius, depending on the client and how specific they are with areas. Generally, I would do like the radius, but for clients that are really particular about suburbs, I would list them individually, and you can list as many as you like. You can also exclude areas too. So say as an example, for whatever reason you want to exclude a particular suburb, you can actually just list that here. So I'll just use this one as an example because I can see that that's so Northern Western Australia. Maybe you want to exclude this one here. Over here to the side, it will show you in live time also how your audience is looking and how the size of your audience is looking, which is quite important information. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit here just so that you can actually see this full screen. So you can see here that the audience based on this area here is 2.2 to 2.6. So it's quite a broad audience. Initially, I would always say to start off with a more broad audience because Meta will learn over time and you can always make tweaks later. But if you're doing a particular type of niche, you can always do, you can add in additional things that are going to target the audience a little bit more. There's more options here. Minimum age, this is if you're doing like a service that is more, so like alcohol based or something that's actually, you want to have like a minimum age. I do always anyway, just change this to 25 because I don't want to show the ad to people that are younger than that generally for most of my clients because it's not going to be something that the clients would be looking to use. Okay, then we go into Advantage Plus audience. Okay, now I generally it depends on the type of trades business that you are. For this example, doing say $1,000 off a deck, I'm going to do the minimum as 28 because generally you would think most clients who are looking to get an outdoor renovation, generally they're going to be in excess of about sort of 28 plus, and then I also do it up to 65 plus as well. You can customize things by gender, but I haven't found that that's really necessary for trades businesses. That's more targeted. So like if you're a beauty brand and you're selling like women's beauty, obviously you want to target women. But in the case of trades businesses, it could be males, it could be females that are looking for your service. So I wouldn't exclude anyone. You can here as well add in additional detailed targeting. The best way to sort of think about this is who is your ideal client and what are their interests or demographics. If you're, for this example, say the deck example, maybe your clients are generally married with children. You can actually do demographics. Maybe you could do parents, maybe you could do working parents as well. Working parents. Generally, I would only put, probably sort of 5-ish. And this is not set targeting. This is just if Meta thinks that maybe it needs to target a little bit better, it will use this as a suggestion. So maybe your target audience, generally you find they're like older parents who've maybe got teenagers. You can click that here as well as far as demographics. So you can do like a variety of different types of demographics in here. If you don't want to run with any demographics, that's fine. The targeting, you can just leave it, not put anything in here, and you will know within a short period of time whether you maybe need to go back in and add some targeting just to help your campaign. Transparency, don't need to do anything there. Placements is where your ad is going to be shown. And this means, so is it going to be on the feed, like Instagram or Facebook feed? Is it going to be when someone goes to the marketplace section of Facebook and maybe they're looking for some furniture and they see your ad pop up? So you can actually customize this. I tend to say just leave it as is. These are all of the additional options. So you can actually select here whether you want it to be different options. I say just leave that. You can always make tweaks later on. Okay, so I'm going to go up to the top now. And this is why I didn't actually name it before, because I want to just, I wanted to just sort of see what we were going to do as far as the targeting. So I put in Perth and Fremantle, male and female, 28 to 65 plus. So I just pop that in there just so that I can easily see later on. Meta will come up. It didn't do it then, but sometimes it will come up and say your campaign's going to generate no leads. That happens quite often, and that's not the case. So it pretty much pops up with most campaigns that we launch. It says that there will be, will generate 0. So if it pops up and says that, don't worry about it. Don't freak out. I'm just going to call it like image with call to action. When it comes to the ad name, you just want to make it something that reflects what you're doing. So say if you've got a video ad, you would say video with offer or video with owner talking, just something that you can recognize what the actual ad is. And we will do multiples here. So generally when I'm doing an ad, I would be testing, it could be anywhere from probably like 4 to 8 to 10 different creatives. So you would have like a combination, say like an image that's just more, just a single image, maybe an image with text, maybe carousel, which is multiple images. Then you might have a couple of different types of videos. So you would list them all here, and you can actually just duplicate here once you've done the first one, and then you can just make adjustments so they would all come under here. Okay, so partnership ad, that's not something that you need to do. Yeah, it's a really good feature, but it's not something that you need to worry about. Identity is which profiles are going to be used for your ad. So you just need to click on here. It's already selected. Because I'm using a demo account, it's actually not linked to my Facebook page. But if you just need to select your Facebook page here, and then also it will appear with your Instagram account as well. So you just need to select the relevant ones. If you've got multiple pages, just make sure that you select the right one, because you don't want to be doing ads from, say like if you've got a couple of businesses, you want to make sure it's from the right one. Here, we've got the single or video, and carousel is what I was mentioning, where there's multiple images. For this one, we're going to do just a single image. Set up creative, we click on here. So do an image ad. If you've got your Facebook and Instagram linked, mine's not linked to this one, my demo account, it will appear with some images that have been posted on your Facebook and Instagram. So you can click on them here, or you can actually just upload. I'll click next. Now I've actually uploaded this in 4 to 5 dimensions. What I would say is generally you want to do a square format, which is 1080 by 1080, so a square format. It will automatically load up here, and you just want to have a look at all of your ads and make sure that they look correct. So what it will do is it will automatically format your creatives and your artwork into all the different formats. So this is like the original like square is generally like your Facebook and Instagram feed, your marketplace ad. So this is all of the placements. Then you've got vertical, which is more like your stories on Facebook and Instagram. And then you've got horizontal, which is yet narrower but longer. So your ad, we as an agency, like my agency, we do different formats. So we'll do for every type of creative, we'll do a square one, we'll do a vertical one, and then we'll do a horizontal one, just so that everything appears correctly. But for the purposes of you as a beginner, I would say just go with the square, then just do original, and then do original. So it will automatically adjust your creatives. Like it's not going to appear like this with the grey up the top and down the bottom. It will make it look a little bit nicer than that. You can, if you're into Canva and you're happy to do different creatives, I would say that's the best option to go with. Okay, click on here. Okay, so primary text is your text for your ad. So this is where you want to pop in what your offer is. And I'll include the link to AI ad generator where you can actually pop in information and then it will spit out some relevant ads that you can actually use. But there's a particular type of format that I generally use for ads and I suggest. So at the start you would do either like a call out to a particular type of client or your offer at the start. Then you address, like pain, points, solution, value, and experience. I'll include a link to a separate video that actually walks through how to do the offers, and then our chat GPT AI bot that you can actually use to make this process like really, really easy. Then like learn more, and then I'll often do a link at the bottom to the website. Okay. You can either do additional options here. I always suggest doing as many options as you can because you never know. As long as you've got the core messaging right, it's good to actually do additional options and it will come up with AI generated options. Do have a read through them because sometimes they just don't make sense. So you want to have a look through here, because I've just done a random bit of text here. You might go, okay, I think that one's good. Like that one. Like you just go through, have a read, see what you think. You can also generate new variations as well. If you only feel comfortable with doing one ad, like one primary text, do that. You can always test additional ones at a later stage. Headline is what is going to appear. So you have the main text, then you have the creative, then underneath you actually have the headline with the call to action. So really important, the headline. So it might be like, get a quote, come up with some options here. Thinks that I'm doing a fitness challenge for some reason. Get started, ready to get the outdoor space you always wanted. You can do lots of different options here. Description, I generally just put something relating to what the ad is. So like as an example, need a backyard upgrade. And call to action is what actually gets people to click. So this is the button that is on the ad. You've got a variety of different options here. Generally for trades businesses, I always tend to go with like a learn more because it's sort of getting them to inquire. You can do, there is get quote. I don't like that one as much. I generally go with learn more. I just feel like it's a better way of getting people to actually click. You go next. This will then show you, which is a little bit funny to be honest. So this is the AI, the AI section. It does say that you get better click-through rate when you actually go with an AI generated one, but to be honest, I think they're just a little bit off. Like I've just put in obviously my creatives and this just looks a little bit cheesy and a little bit funny. You're welcome to have a look through and if there's anything you like, go with them. But generally I just skip and continue this section. It will come up with different options here. So for some reason it's clicking here and not showing some of the additional options. This is generally customized depending on what your creative is. So this is all of the enhancements. You can adjust things. So say as an example, you have a very particular type of brand and you don't, this particular type of music that you like that conveys your brand, you can actually click on here and customize to actually manually select the type of music that you like for your brand rather than actually just going with the default. You can also do this for text improvements as well. We tend to do this with like say branding colors and types of fonts, that sort of thing. Otherwise, if you don't do that, it's going to just do AI generated stuff and just customize things based on how it wants to do things. So you can customize all of this, customize call to actions. So have a look through this and just sort of make sure that you're happy with that before you go ahead. You click done. Then it's your lead forms, getting all of the questions and information that you need so you can actually contact leads and convert them. I've just switched accounts because my demo account's not linked to a Facebook page, so I can't set up a form. I've jumped into this other account, which is a client's account here, just to explain why you actually want to set up a form is because you want to get clients' information. You want to get their name, their number, email, so you can give them a call, send emails and SMS as well. You don't want to just direct them to your website that maybe isn't optimized and then you lose them. You want to get their information once they've seen your ad. So let's click on create form. Leave the date and time here if you like. I always like to give the form a name for the campaign. Leads, we're going to say spring offer, 1K off. You can also put, if it's an autofill, which an autofill is, it automatically fills the client's information into it. You can leave the date, you can leave the time. You do want to put in here something that is going to make it so that you can keep your forms organised, especially in the case if you have a number of forms, you want them to be by campaign or date. Now with the form type, there is a couple of different types that you can do. You can do more volume, which means that you're basically just going to be put out there and a lot of or more volume of leads will come in. If it's the first time you're running ads, you can certainly do that and then you can adjust and add some filters and a little bit of friction. But I always tend to go with higher intent just because you want better quality leads. And what higher intent is, it means when they're actually submitting their information, they've got to swipe and confirm their information at the end, which just means that you get better quality leads. So it's up to you which you prefer to do, but I'm going to do high intent. You can also do like, this is a new feature where you can actually get them to verify their phone number. So they're going to get a one-time password. That does create a bit of friction, which means that you are going to have clients drop off because they can't be bothered. So I don't tend to do that option, but yeah, up to you if you want to try it. Flexible delivery. So I do always tend to go for the optimized, which means that it's going to be maximizing for performance. So we'll leave it as that. Now, and you can see here on the right hand side, it shows you a live image of how it's actually going to look, which is really good. We'll go next. You can put in a background image here. It automatically will do the image that you've used for that campaign, which looks really good, makes it easy for people to see, what the ad is about. So in this particular case, I'll just leave that there. Now, headline, you want to copy and paste in here because this is another opportunity where people sometimes do drop off. So you want to make it really clear what the offer is and what they're actually putting in their details for. So I'll do here 1K off spring offer. So I would literally just copy and paste in here the headline that you've used from one of the ads and the description as well. Now I'll come back to the questions, but I'll go down to the contact information here. So I always put, so this is a standard text that I always put. So please provide your information below for us to contact you. You can select optional. So I do like to get as a basic full name, email and mobile number. You can tick though optional. save for the email and you just really prioritize the phone number, that's certainly something that you can do. I just like to get those three as the basic, because then it means that you can be keeping in contact with those clients with automations and those sort of things. So I'm going to untick the optional. You can reorder them as well. I just always like to have it name, phone, email in that order. Just I think it flows a bit easier for clients. Okay, now we're going to go back up here to questions. When it comes to adding in questions, you want to add some questions in to qualify the leads and make sure that you're not just getting people that aren't looking for your services. You know, they're in a different area, whatever the qualifying is. So I would sit down and actually work out what are some of the things that you need to know from potential clients. You don't want to have too many questions though, because you can always be asking those questions when you actually give them a call or SMS or email them, but you want to get some questions done just so that you can make sure, you know, where they are. What are you looking done? I'm going to do this for, because this particular client is a deck builder, so I'll do this as an example for him. So what are you looking to have done? New pergola or deck, existing deck replaced. So anything that is suitable can have up to about six answers. I'll do that one for the moment, that will do. Then I'm going to do short answer here. So where is your location? We don't need to do minimum characters. So we'll leave that as where is your location. So that those two questions, that's good. You can do probably 2 or 3. You can always start off with no questions, and then you can actually then create another form later on and actually add some more questions in. So 2 is probably a good one. You just want to make sure that, you know, they're in the right area and what they're looking to have done, so that you can prioritize maybe if different services you're more interested in than others. So we can scroll down here at the side and you can see how that's all looking in the form. We'll go next. You do need to actually insert a privacy policy link. So this will be on your website. You just type in the privacy policy page, which maybe even might be a hidden page of your website. You just paste that in here and then just say the standard text. So pop your business name in. You can even just say visit our privacy policy. You don't need to do this section here. That's all fine. Okay, then it takes you to the last screen. So this is once clients have submitted their details, they're going to come to a page at the end. This is a standard text that will be popped in there. If you do want to customize this, I normally customize it and let them know that, you know, someone will be in contact, just so that they're expecting to be contacted. You can say, you know, we'll give you a call shortly, whatever sort of is relevant to your business. Go to a website, so you can actually attach. So there's a few options here. If you were doing like say a free download or something like that, or you wanted to give them the client like a free guide, you could say, please see below to download a free renovation guide, something like that. You can do, just click to the website. That's the file. You can do call business. I don't suggest doing call business. I like to make it so that you get the information, then you contact the client, but you can certainly do that. There is chat on WhatsApp as well as an option too. I'm just going to put in my website here. Okay, you can see that your form has been added in here. So you can see this form here. You can actually see here that we've got a preview of how the ads are looking. So at any point, and obviously before you publish, you want to jump in here and just make sure that everything is looking how you would like it to look. I'm going to click here to the advanced preview, and this is going to show you all of the different placements. So When I say placements, I mean, you know, Facebook feed, Instagram feed, the marketplace section, the discovery section. It shows how everything is going to appear. And you do want to look through here just to make sure that everything is appearing correctly, especially if with the artwork, you have done all of the sizes in the square. Sometimes you maybe might need to go in and adjust a placement. As I mentioned, we do the 3 different size placements. So it means generally there's not going to be issues with how it's appearing, but you want to just jump in and have a look. Just scroll down, just make sure that it's all looking good. The dimensions look fine. Yep, so this is all looking good here. You can also share it if you want to share it with someone else in your business as well. You can get a link there too. And then, yeah, the destination, we'll just make sure that that's all looking okay. So that's the lead form that we just set up. Scroll down. Yep, so we've got the copy, we've got all of the headings, we've got the text, the call to action. Yep, we've done that. So that's all. Always, well, I always do learn more just because I feel like it's the most inviting one. But yeah, you can certainly, if you want to do like book a quote, get offer, you can do that as well. You just don't want to do something like sign up. You want to do something a little bit more relaxed and inviting. That's just, yeah, rather than sign up. Now, I wanted to show you just as another option, if you are a little bit more advanced, and have been doing lead forms and maybe you haven't been having the best response, the other option as well is that you can do a landing page. And a landing page is just, it's a more direct page than a website. So when you go to a website, and this is why I don't like to direct traffic just to the website, is because there's a lot of information there and sometimes clients get lost. So you want to ensure that everything is really direct. The information, you're only giving them small bites of information that they need to know. So that's why a landing page can work really well. So it's just one page and it just has all the information that you want the client to know and obviously get them booked in. So here, yeah, this is landing page, about us. It's got all of their services. So no sort of link clicks, they can just see all of the information here. They can actually book straight into a call in this particular one. Sometimes I will put reviews as well, like a review widget here as well. So that's just an example of what you could do as well if you've got access to building your own landing pages. Tracking, I will cover that in a different session because that's a little bit more involved. Like that could be a whole sort of session on its own. But what tracking is to ensure that you're actually capturing people from the website and vice versa. So if someone actually goes to your website, then they jump into Facebook, we want Facebook to know that the client has just been to your website. And then if they then go back to the website, we want them to know that it's actually come from Facebook ads. So that's why, yeah, a tracking or metapixel is really important. It's not too tricky to set up, especially if you've got a WordPress site. There's actually just a widget for that. So you can actually get that all set up. If you've got a different type of website, you might just need to pop some code on your website. So I'll do a separate training session. If that all seems a little bit too hard or you don't have a website, you can just get your campaigns launched without that step. But if you do have a website that's got traffic, you're just going to be missing out on a little bit of opportunity there. If this all seems a little bit too tricky, certainly let me know and we can look after this for you. If you just click the link that I'll attach below, we can handle all of your ads and follow up for you.